Hey, I said what?
Crush it. All of the cool, we have it. 3S.
See, this is a case of brains versus brawn, and I'm sure my mind can outperform him. You see, there's pride at stake in this cliffhanger to decide today which of us is your king. And I know the risk of being scarred, but I couldn't wait to dig my claws in. You know how much I support you, bro. That's a massive fact. And throughout this entire tournament, people know I've always had his back. So when this final was announced, I was like, this match is bad. Because now they'll see a fan do a man worse than John Lennon. Yeah, imagine that. Because for years now with you, I have not been impressed. Excited writing since the flights were booked. All I ever wanted was a fighting chance to show the world that I can punch. And they sent their champion to potentially die in Las Vegas. You're gambling with your life. You need to tighten up. Because they say the British are polite, and they're right. Because I'm nice as fuck, and you really the scene is over. There's nothing left for you to kiss and tell. We aren't buying this guy. He's back in his prime when the last 3 times it didn't sell. Because yeah, he's pretty ill, but it'll soon pass. So I suggest you just wish him well and consider this cancer gone for good the moment that they ring the bell. Yeah, it's a fair move, because it isn't a case of if you spit 3 rounds, you don't lose. Nowadays, if you spit 3, it's because you're scared to. I knew taking a battle with you would mean defining the tier I'm in wouldn't be hard, because if he takes this serious, it's official. I've solidified my place up with the stars, so I'm treating today like it's my birthday. Now let's find out if he couldn't be asked, because I only invited my Uncle Tony here to see if he put anything good in the card. Look past the present day and how he's been more than uninspiring and ignore the fact he's struggled lately and most of his performances are tiring. This man is a living legend and it's important you admire him. Help build each side to the ring we're standing in today. It's only right I let him choose which corner to retire in. Queen has passed, bro. It was all over the news. If you never saw it, then you're blind. For the past couple of months, my entire nation so distraught because she's died. Media channels every day showing members of the public mourning as they cry. You might have even seen the queues around her coffin, with everybody slowly walking by. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of people, OPPA, forming in a line, and believe me, I've been waiting to see your body in a box more than all of them combined. Because I was after 2 no-shows and being asked to prep again for this. I know fans expected my answer to surely be a no, but I need to start this off with a confession. There's something about me I feel this audience should know. I have OCD and it gives me anxiety. I just want to tell you all that now before we reoppose, because I wanted to see Quill but couldn't start that chapter till I bring this story to a close. I don't care how the saying goes, today I am winning both the battle and war. Yunnan might be back in the north, but don't let that distract from the norm, not the fact we have to act as though we like this man is a chore. The only one of us here who was being handed chances galore, and I cannot stand and allow these fans to applaud while the past is ignored. Today's different. Abe Simpson, you're leaving before you even had a chance to hang your hat on the door. I have not been impressed. I lost all hope and you became someone to forget. He says he's a changed man these days, but there's other battlers that I'm watching instead, and it's gonna take more than you training, lifting weights for me to spot you again. I mean, really, bro? The moment this league doesn't rely on you with that great dependence, you decide to shape up, come back and remake your entrance. He tells us that it's different now. He takes better care and doesn't bear that same resemblance. And the GOATs push coke to one side like Ronaldo when he's taking questions. But we don't trust you anymore. You were losing all your battles. You even wanted more. Black Friday, I've been outside a while waiting to find what deals got in store. You are playing with a killer. Should have tried to send a flight of mine way off its course. Medical error is the 3rd leading cause of death in this country. And the moment I stepped off the plane, it dropped to 4th. They said, they've given you your flowers, bro, 1,000,000 times. The problem is they've all withered and died and remain on the grave of your whole reputation shriveled and dry because you are poison. And if it really came to being the backbone of this league, we've already seen that this cunt is spineless. So I don't care how the story goes, Bond has no time to die because of this fucking virus. You really where he is, preparing his bars so far in advance. See, this is the effect I have on them. All desperate to win, yeah, it's part of the plan. But this ain't Tony Hamlet's script to write no more, because we aren't in the past. So while you wonder whether today's to be or not to be, I've got this head in the palm of my hand. And that's why this cat's on his last life. You mustn't know me, bro. My pronouns are that guy. I'm teaching Thesaurus today there's repercussions if the standards are low. You have two choices. Each represents a side of yours when it comes to the clashes you've had as a pro. You can either die by underperforming, like in all of the battles you treat as a laugh and a joke, or make it out alive by the skin of your teeth if we can actually see you start acting a goat. There's something different about this match for me. I suddenly feel a real anger within. You'd stand a better chance if you had in your plans extending your hand to tag Immaculate in, because never to be wary of the loudest in the room and who can't be quiet, and today you've made an enemy whose biggest trait is he can march in silence. But if I see EGL showing signs of playing any part in bias, don't get it twisted, I'm sparking violence. Either these people will know I'm in a league of my own, or I will take the Geechee approach and start a riot. That is the one to beat. You realise how stupid you've got to be? Yeah, he bested Raptor and Rex, both out with their prime, but now he wants to rock with me. So what, you can say to Bobby what's a Rex to Godzilla and how he'll be leaving like a megalodon bit you, but the waters are dark in Shark City and you're out of your depth, unknowingly paddling next to one bigger. You should have known from the intro alone that you've messed with the wrong killer, and that blood will stream on the lens when you see the silhouette of Bond's figure. You had your handed is the only way we see you leaving tonight, because there's no fear in these eyes, but this shock will cost you dear in the lights. I told you, Briggs, give me the chance, I'll make those at home all believe in the hype. You should have known that I'd kill off Rex the moment you said it's me to your right. You've had so many chances to be the man of this. Before you even battled Saint, I'd started to prep, and when they gave me a slot in Vegas, I already had 3 bars in my head. So you have every right to feel aggrieved, thinking to yourself that this isn't fair, because yeah, you faced the best from my scene, but that was way back when it was still in repair. I'm the one who stood out clear on the lens at a time the UK had its vision impaired. I'm like HBK in the ring these days, the last one to really kick it with flair, so it's fabricated, so please believe me, the kid is capping. And after all this back and forth, he's hypnotized himself. See, I could have this chicken flapping, but when I decide to bring him back to earth tonight, when busy snapping, no matter what they say they saw on stage, you'd be convinced it didn't happen. And that alone is why you'll lose. We haven't seen your style improve, and I can't deal with the lies, con. And when you put old school with an overhead projector, I can see through the pages you write on, and all the little desperate attempts to be different and try to define it as real. Crazy beliefs and forever using his controversial side to appeal. That's why he's such a mad size, and always being the bad guy is ideal, because he has a complex like Napoleon, so it's only right he relies on the heel. He's trying to fool you. He's trying to fool you. Apex in Manchester, yeah, the talks were advanced, but I thought you'd feel more at home here with the love and support of all of the fans. See, this is me doing you a favour, you know, like the Champions League final crossing borders to France. I'm just trying to ease the pressure here, since you've got a war on your hands. But please don't get it twisted. But please don't get it twisted and start to think that I was scared to move it here. Bro, I heart London. That's why I came back for this mug as a souvenir. I get it. Of any worship or even any sort of chosen belief, and that's why it's so important for you all in this room to know that he's Greek, because I'm feeling like I've reached the summit of Mount Olympus where no one has been, and now the clouds have finally cleared, and yet there is not a single soul at the peak. I've been observing you, Pete, trying to learn from your feats, But the stories are getting old and they need a new face now to transfer their belief. He might be a titan, Atlas travelled with the globe on his shoulders, unearthing the scene. But what's that compared to a man who has the whole world at his feet? Two-time everything. Yeah, slogan for 2 decades he's bored us to death with. Hasn't won a thing in years, and every time he battles the performance is desperate. But he's a founding father. It's important we don't ignore or forget this. He even wears clothing that says cookies because we're always forced to accept it. I've been attending for the last 2 years. I've not left Earth. I've been making movies, setting records with the amount of bodies involved like Ben-Hur. I know you think you got this battle because you're the man now on some champion flex, but it's been in the pipeline a while. This isn't the first time they've tried to plan for Tim's death. I just told Lex I don't kill people for free, so he should maybe pick another battle instead. And then everything changed the second that they decided to put a band on his head. Let's not play pretend. This should have happened a year ago, for the sake of them. I'm just glad it's taking place today, because truth be told, my patience went. If you'd have said your head wasn't in the right frame for a 3rd time for this main event, I was planning strikes. I couldn't care less if you were going off the rails again. See, I suffer too, Yunan. The difference is my head is strong compared to you. I excel in every fashion. Check the impression that's been left from Bond, so he can say you couldn't walk a mile in my shoes. He's right. I wouldn't be seen dead in Tom's. Why? Bounce in between, intimidate, and find a small amount of piss to take. I've gone from average every battle, and now I'm mean in a different way. So awarding him the win is strange when each performance gives away. He battles like when he's on the road, can't get up to speed, so sticks in his lane. And you know it's true, because you've already shown with roots. Without all that anger and aggression, there was 0 chance of you going through. It's like battling a fucking metapod. Bobby, Harden is your only move, and I can tell that those involved are bored of this whole lunch. I said no. I'm cooking something the moment that I get here. Because I've checked the tapes against British ops and waited for something to find inspiring. Instead, all I saw was a dated way to rhyme, which let me know that your time's expiring. I can even use those past opponents from the UK to try defining. You battled Soul, Raptor, Quill. We've got no bodies using that prehistoric style of writing. With me, it's different. With me, it's a failed attempt with each and every promise broke. Lied your way to this height again and offers blown. Disrespect was all Connor shown, and you still believe your place is here at the top. On the throne, they treat you like the man is fire. To me, though, it's Danny Myers. At some point, that cap has got to go. You didn't look a goat to me. Lacked a little potency. Your behaviour was appalling. The staff need to see more from you today or you won't compete. I promise if you haven't changed your attitude, I'm serving you your notice tea. Don't speak to me like you spoke to him. You better change that fucking tone with me. Last time at Brixton Jam, I thought the sheer lack of thought given's bizarre. No one had you losing, Unk. We all thought you'd for sure rip him apart. Of all these past opponents of yours, you made it look like wiping the floor with him is hard. You should have made a joke out of the Irishman the moment that he walked into the bar. And he's at a point his marketing has to excel, because if he can't keep the consumer's attention, he already knows that it's back on the shelf. Thesaurus, Spider-Man, yeah, I can see the comparisons well, because the only good images of Peter are always the ones that he has of himself. I mean, losing $25 a month, and you've chosen the main character position poorly, because even I can see from this head, you shouldn't develop an app with him like Rick and Morty. You know what? It's so odd, because I heard the staff have a tweet in their draft saying he beat me. They mustn't know that this is where your growth stops. They tried to make a man of you and failed. Now, it might not be the same post-op. If only he chose to spend most of his focus rapping. He's so erratic, overacting on his socials as he hopes for static. We draw a line and within a day he's going past it, and it isn't long till someone wants to grab him by the throat and slap him. So he has to backtrack like, yo, it was just a joke so it doesn't go dramatic. You'd think to cope with a stress disorder you'd stop making every post traumatic. There is so much So really listen to the content tonight as he tries to better me. It's all fake violence and lies if you decide to put aside the energy. And if you believe something he's imagined in his mind, it's cleverly manipulated you into buying into the hype pathetically. And sooner or later, that loser behaviour will be getting him cancelled. I mean, just so you can get a slight edge in a battle, use the most disrespectful of angles. It's a mess and a shambles. No wonder you spell Robbie, I-E, and Bobby with a Y when your alias doesn't have it in him to set an example. I'm way ahead of Rex tonight, so a massive have takes years, it's great practice, and now you're at a stage where each aspect of life is strange. It's like play acting. The fact you're an out-of-shape gym teacher who battles and barely gets by when he takes matches portrays the same image in each of the same classes of a man clinging on, trying desperately to stay active. I tried to look past your past opponents claiming this is... I've achieved so much, it's got to the point you just couldn't relate. And now we're at a stage today where even Mr. Big Dinners knows there's a little too much on his plate. Yeah. So here's something I can vouch to you. This ain't a battle I'm about to lose, because I've been hitting peaks and altitudes you convince yourself you're amounting to. Wants to be the champ for clout is... Today they see you lose to me. I mean, this might be the biggest sign to quit you finally might choose to see, because being bested by a rapper called Nugget explains something to me beautifully. And that is that the golden era you represent is now a speck of what it used to be. On these different leagues thinking you won't drop a tear, but you're already there. They ain't even hardcore matches yet, believe me, these falls count anywhere. I imagine this to go one or two ways today. Either make a classic and forever have a piece of history, or have them raving about this hand man and leave him flat out with a meaner victory. Notice how I said Raven, Sandman, hardcore. Yeah, well the reason is, Pete.
You always start again.
I imagine this to go one or two ways today. Either make a classic and forever have a piece of history, or have them raving about this hand man and leave him flat out with a meaner victory. Notice how I said Raven, Sandman, hardcore man. Yeah, well the reason is, Pete, if I stop rapping and just stick it on you, I can't help it. It's just the dreamer in me. You've seen how I mean, you're the leader here. He's like Kim Jong-un. I mean, this king's still a baby. And to give a kid this age enough power to dictate is crazy. But I'll get a dictator shipped with all his plans to conquer and ideas thrown at weight. Maybe you are Kim Jong-un, because it's only a matter of time till your career goes south. I don't understand why these... If you kept your head down and were acting discreetly, allowing all these men online and in battles embarrassing weekly. You're behaving like Tyson's little bro, Tommy, but you're a lover, not a fighter, and it's apparent to CG. Yeah, he shows a little fury when he's in the ring, but you just can't escape from reality TV. It's the same old story. It's the same old story. It's the same old story. Goes home to be consoled by all his little friends, then announces he's coming back better than ever, and thanks his team for reassuring him at length. Stands on stage where we applaud him for his strength, how his head's been in the worst state. Man, every battle's like 51st days. I'm thinking surely they aren't going to fall for him again. It's a gimmick of his. It's a gimmick of his to
Me and S in a ride, dressed for a glide. Got enough ammo, we can bust in a beef and put the stress to the side. Want mercy, should've never left me alive. Can't say sorry on the glide.